James Harrison is a two-time Super Bowl winner, and he's kind enough to call in right here on the Rich Eisen Show on this Christmas Eve on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line. How are you, James?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. So where do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers season is right now, based on what you've seen and maybe what you might even know? What do you think of it so far?
Well, I think that they're doing a lot with what they have. I believe that the defense, despite the lapses that they had in run game things, here and there, is going to be what's going to carry this team. And if the offense can just, put up, enough points, hold the ball long enough to give them guys a rest, I think they have a chance to make it into the playoffs. How far they'll go, I don't want to put any type of number on that because, it's a talented team, but it's not as talented as the other ones.
So where would you put would you put T.J. Watt in the would you give him Defensive Player of the Year award? I mean, he's in and out of the lineup, but he's still producing insane numbers. You got Myles Garrett in that conversation, Micah Parsons for Dallas.
Yeah, you got quite a few guys in that conversation. He's definitely in the conversation. I think the only thing that would probably hinder that is if them guys don't make the playoffs and he's able to continue to actually be healthy and be in there to where he just throws up astronomical numbers and it's just too hard to not give it to him.
So what do you think of Micah Parsons? What do you think of that kid on Dallas, James?
He's doing he's doing good. It's 1 year, and I think, once, they get a good year under their belt and they realize what type of talent he is, I think they'll start to try and adjust to it. And then we'll see, next year exactly where he'll be heading after they make those adjustments.
So the rubber is yet to meet the road for him or with him, in your estimation. What you're saying, James?
For me, yes, I would say that.
You don't see like I don't know. He's just jumping off the screen to me. I mean, and he's also.
Yeah, that's no question about it. I mean, you have guys that come in and blow things out in that first year, and then the next year, whether it's the teams or coaches doing things different the next year, or maybe you have that sophomore slump. So. We're going to see, but he's definitely, like I said, he's in that conversation too for Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, get it all.
Yeah, I know. Rod Woodson once told me the greatest adapting organism in the NFL is an NFL defense. I'm just wondering if offenses and blocking schemes and stuff like that might actually be the same thing. But
it's not even blocking schemes. They're just going to have to put more guys, dedicate more guys to him.
What's the most you ever had somebody dedicate guys to you back in the day, James?
I think, what you mean, like the most number of guys?
Yeah,
or the
where you're like, how many are they going to send my way? Like, what?
I've had 3. That's the most I've had.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what? Tackle, lineman, running back.
Tackle and it was 2 running backs.
Oh, running backs for you. You probably had to laugh at that, right? No. Running backs?
No, see, because you got to get past the tackle first, and then, now there's still 2 guys. You shouldn't be able to get through that.
Okay.
2-on-1 should be a win for the 2 guys at all times.
Well, did you win in the 3-on-1 against you?
No, I did not win. I won in the 2-on-1. I did not win in the 3-on-1.
3-on-1 yeah, well, did somebody else win? Because I guess that would be the key, right? If there's somebody 3-on-1 on you, then let someone else win. In that regard, right?
Right. It takes, if you can do that, it gives somebody else a nice one-on-one somewhere else.
James Harrison here on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm going to take my shot with this question. Usually, I ask questions I already know or have a sense of what the answer is. So, my buddy Adam Schefter reported that Big Ben's telling people it's his last year. Are you one of those people that he told?
He did not tell me. No.
Okay. Are you in contact with him at all, or no? Not really.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
What's your sense then? What do you think?
If he said it's his last year, I'm gonna have to go with it's his last year.
But what do you think when you see it, or just any sense of it? Do you think that this is his last run with the Steelers right now?
Well, I was kind of surprised that he actually came back after Ponce had retired and all that. So That was a surprise to me. So
What?
if he's saying this is his last year, I'm going to assume that that's what he means.
Why were you surprised by that he would come back?
Well, it was that connection there, and from conversations that we had in the past, it was a likelihood that when he left, he was leaving.
They were because that was one of the more famous shots of this on the sideline during last year's playoffs when it was obvious that Pouncey was going to go, and the two of them were in tears on the bench. Right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So that's what you're referring to, is that closeness.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. I guess he didn't want to quit football, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to give up something that you've been doing that long and you have love for. So
how would you have handled the Chase Claypool moment from the other day when Claypool, with less than 40 seconds to go and a clock ticking, made a first down symbol and 14 more seconds came off the clock in a loss? How would you have handled that moment in the locker room, James Harrison?
I don't have to answer that, and I don't have to give an opinion because I'm never going to coach.
Well, you as a team leader is what I'm saying. A team leader, would you have pulled him aside and said something, or just left it up to?
Oh yeah, you'd have definitely had to talk to him because the team comes before everything else, especially in a situation like that. That gives Ben at least one more shot, if not two more shots at the end zone after the ball is broken up. So that's something that you definitely have a conversation with, and it needs to be some type of punishment for that.
Right. James Harrison here on the Rich Eisen Show. Who's the best team, do you think? What's your Super Bowl prediction in this crazy mixed-up season with 3 weeks to go, James?
I don't know no more. Everybody losing to people I don't think they should lose to, and then they beating people I don't think they should beat.
Right.
So, I mean, it's really up in the air for me. It could be. I mean, I can't count out Tampa because they got Tom. You can't count out the Rams because they got AD. And then I'm kind of suspicious on what Kansas City is doing. Is they really coming back like the old Kansas City, or is they just showing a little bit here and there and they go falter at some point? I don't know.
Those games, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, when you were around there, those were awesome. Those were intense games. I just remember those games. Those games were. You got any good memories of any of those games, James? From those? All
good memories, man. Especially the ones that we won.
Of course.
But I mean, it's nothing that really truly sticks out. It's
okay.
Just, playing the game and trying to get to the next week.
Right, and then you got TB12 doing what he's doing down in Tampa, Florida. When you went into New England and met him and saw him firsthand, what did you assess when you first saw Tom Brady as a teammate up close as opposed to a target for you to take down after all those years?
Real good dude. Probably one of the best individual teammates that I can say I've had, as far as just his camaraderie and actually genuinely caring about, the person and not the player.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Like, he introduced himself to everybody as if you don't know who he is. Like, the practice squad dude coming, hey, I'm Tom Brady. He's the first one to introduce himself to him. When it's time to go outside and it's 15 below, he's like, yo, let's go. Let's get it going. It's no complaint, I've never seen anybody with the study habits of him. That's for sure. Like, this dude damn near fills up a whole notebook a game.
What do you mean? Like he just
notes? Yes, notes. Like, you take a little notebook, a 70-page notebook. This dude damn near fills that up a whole game, every game.
So, let's just say a notebook from grade school, right? Like that. It's something like that.
70-page, 120-page, whatever it may be.
And so he would finish up a game and he'd sit down and he'd just write notes?
No, leading up to the game.
Huh. Did you ever take a look inside one of those books at all?
No, I don't care what the offense is doing.
Okay, I just didn't know if you were just so wow. So, and he's sitting there and he's looking through notes and I never heard that one before. I'm wondering if I assume he still does it.
Man, listen, he is talking about what the defense did. The defensive coordinator what he was doing with this other team that he was with 10 years ago and how this guy is this person in this defense from this past defense. And this was leading up to the Super Bowl in Minnesota when we were playing Philly.
Right.
We got out of the meeting on Monday. My seat is right by the front door. He taps me on the shoulder as he's walking past. He say, "Hey, get ready. We're about to score a bunch of points." That was almost 2 weeks before the Super Bowl.
That's what he said. We're about to score a whole bunch of points.
He said, "Get ready. We're about to score a bunch of points."
How do you take something like that? You're like that. Probably get
scored a bunch of points, man.
No, I'm just saying.
Like, nosebleed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, just like for you to be a veteran at the game and have Tom Brady tap you on the shoulder and say we're about to score a bunch of points.
It wasn't at the game.
No. That's what I'm saying. That
Two weeks before, he had already did all his
right, his
back work, his study, and all that.
I love it. That is incredible. I'm just wondering what it feels for you to feel as a defensive player and who've been put so much time in the game as you already had to hear someone like Brady say something like that before the Super Bowl. Obviously, that's got to give you some wind at your sails, I'd imagine. Right, James?
Oh, yeah.
You know, that is amazing. Hey, James, I appreciate the time. Always appreciate our conversations. You be well. Be healthy, be safe, and have a great holiday season with you and your family. Appreciate the time.
All right, now, take it easy.
You got it. That's James Harrison, everybody, right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.